All right, this is the weekly coffee video for the week of Monday, July 29th, still reflecting the September contract. You can see this chart. This basically sums it up entirely. I don't have that illustrated here on this chart, but we did test a few weeks ago, as you're probably well aware, long-term resistance that is currently between, going by memory here, I'll show you in a moment, 112.80 to 116.10, I believe. I'll show you that in a moment. But last week we actually broke and settled below this ascending channel structure, which I mentioned in in the last couple of weeks, that doing so would set off secondary selling pressures. Now expecting over the next 3 to 5 weeks that 84.40 to 87.60 region. And that was actually kind of in mind as a target anyway, following the test of long-term resistance some time ago. And I can show you that. Well, there's 116.15. We rallied to within a hair of that 3 or 4 weeks ago. And then we also did test this formation, which is even more significant, really, this week at 112.80. So 112.80 to 116.15 is our primary overhead resistance long term. As you can see here, I don't see us testing that this week. 108.65 can contain weekly buying pressures, and below which 91.95, which I can show you here, is likely this week. Former channel structure that can contain weekly selling pressures. If we close below 91.95, then expect this targeted 84, what do I have here again? 84.40 to 87.60 region within another 2 to 3 weeks at the most. This lower area can absorb selling through September trade into later year, perhaps. But if we close below 84.40, then expect another 3 to 5 to 8 weeks bearish continuation down to 67.40, which is a longer-term channel structure, several years in length, that can absorb selling into next spring. Let's talk upside. If we happen to close the week above 108.65, then expect that 112.80 to 116.15 region once again, where we can top out on a quarterly basis. 112.80 to 116.15, able to contain quarterly highs into later year perhaps, and below which the mid to upper 80s are expected as a kind of a big picture target now within 3 to 5 weeks below 108.65. If we happen to settle above 112.80 this week, actually let me back up on that, 116.15 to be safe, then expect the settlement above 116.15 to yield 131.40 over the following, say, 3 to 5 weeks, where we can top out through the balance of the year. And I do believe this all needs to be said. We have some session containment levels this week, 98.30, 104.45, but I think 91.95 is in reach, able to contain weekly selling pressures. I showed you that a moment ago. And if we close below it, then expect within 2-3 weeks at the very most this targeted support region 84.40 to 87.60. And I do believe